was surreal, seeing particularly the biggest game of the Italian football calendar, which is Juventus against Inter, the Derby d'Italia, played behind closed doors, and not being able to hear fans, particularly when Juventus scored both of their goals in the 2-0 win, hearing the coaches shout instructions at the players, hearing the players react to whatever was happening to them at that time on the pitch. It was very odd, and I think, again, it's one of the reasons why the league has tried to avoid that situation.
You know, we saw Cristiano Ronaldo arriving for the game against Inter Milan, ironically high-fiving non-existent fans as he got off the bus. How do the players feel about what's happening right now?
Well, the players' reaction, we've started to learn a little bit more about that over the last few days, particularly over the weekend, because up until now, access has been quite limited. We've seen a number of players come out, particularly those involved at the weekend, and talk about their concerns about playing at this moment in time. We've seen Mario Balotelli, the Brescia, former Man City, AC Milan and Inter striker, come out and say that he doesn't believe that they should be playing. Andrea Petagna, another striker for Spal, has said the same. And there is this feeling that even playing behind closed doors represents an unnecessary health risk, not just for players, but all those involved, coaching staff, ground staff, cleaning staff. Essentially, that is a crowd gathering in one place. I kind of see where they're coming from and empathize that until this crisis stabilizes, maybe the best thing is for the league to be postponed.
Are the Italian football officials cooperating with the government? Are they happy to take the lead from the government?
The league and the Italian Football Federation have no option really but to follow the instruction as laid out by the government, the scientific committee that informs the government, and the Minister of Sport. And this is one of the reasons why we saw some disruption at the weekend, particularly just prior to the game between Parma and Spal. The game was due to go ahead behind closed doors. A decree written by the government and published by the government that day said that games could go ahead. But the Minister of Sport, acting on what he'd heard from the Players' Union rep, the head of the Players' Association, who said that he didn't believe the game should go ahead, all of a sudden the Football Federation called the authorities at the game and questioned whether it should go ahead. And we saw for 90 minutes the game was delayed while they came to a decision. Of course, in the end, the game was played because the league looked at the decree as it was written, which said that the game could go ahead, and it did.
Given what you know and the conversations you've been having, what do you think the chances are that Euro 2020 can go ahead as planned?
I think structurally, the way the European Championship is to be held this summer makes it very difficult, because it's to be held not just in one country but across the continent. This has to be a major concern for UEFA. We've seen 3 million tickets sold for this competition. I think 5 billion raised in TV rights. I think UEFA will be taking on the advice that they're seeing from health organisations, the World Health Organization, also speaking to the FAs in the affected countries to find out exactly how they feel about the current situation. But given what we're seeing in other sports, with some summer events already being rain-checked and moved, I think it's a distinct possibility that the European Championships is perhaps rescheduled for a time and a place when the world and Europe has got a handle on the outbreaks and the contagion of this virus.